Have you ever found yourself, I don't know, typing in all caps, just trying to explain something super simple to an AI assistant, only for it to give you a completely bonkers answer? Yeah, we have all been there. It is such a uniquely modern kind of frustration.
But here's the thing. What if I told you the problem isn't that the AI is dumb? I mean, it's got massive amounts of computing power. The real issue, and the key to making an AI feel genuinely smart, is something else entirely. It's not about the code, it's all about the connection.
Exactly. The secret sauce for an AI that feels intelligent isn't just about raw processing power, it's about really thoughtful design. A great user experience, or UX, is what makes us trust an AI and, actually want to use it. It's the bridge between the machine's incredible power and our very human needs.
So, how do we build that bridge? Well, we've got to start with the first layer, the absolute basics of how we even communicate. In the design world, these are called modalities, which is really just a fancy way of saying they're the foundational building blocks for the whole experience.
And we've basically got four main ways to do this. Text is still king, right? It's clear, you can come back to it later, you can search it. Then you have graphical user interfaces, or GUIs. These are perfect when you need to see what you're doing, especially for complex, multi-step tasks. Voice, well, that's obviously amazing for any hands-free situation. And then there's video, which is still pretty rare, but it's popping up for things like immersive learning. The real magic isn't about using the flashiest option, but picking the absolute perfect tool for the job.
And here's something kind of wild. In this age of visuals for everything, the plain old text box is having a huge comeback. You'd think that super advanced AI would leave it in the dust, but the exact opposite is happening. AI is turning simple text into this intelligent conversational partner, making it way more powerful and intuitive than it's ever been.
Okay, so once we figure out how we're talking to the agent, the next big question we have to tackle is, who's really in charge here? This is all about setting up the power dynamic between you and the AI. And let me tell you, it is absolutely crucial for building any kind of trust.
The best way to think about this is with a concept called the autonomy slider. Just picture a control dial for your AI. It lets you, the user, decide exactly how much leash to give the agent, putting you firmly in the driver's seat of your relationship.
So this slider usually has three main settings. On one end, you've got manual mode. You're the pilot, the AI is your co-pilot, a tool. In the middle, there's ask mode. Here, the AI can suggest things, but you always have the final say. And then on the far end, you have agent mode, where you can delegate tasks and just let it run, and it'll keep you in the loop. It's this flexibility that lets us build a working relationship with AI on our own terms.
And that's why this is so much more than just a cool feature. At its core, it's a trust-building exercise. When you give users control over how autonomous the AI is, you let them build confidence in the system at their own speed. They can move from being cautious to being collaborative.
Okay, now we get to the real magic. What are those subtle design choices that take an AI from being just another tool to being a true digital partner? Well, it really boils down to two things: remembering what you've already talked about and being super clear about what it can actually do for you.
An agent without memory is just infuriating. It completely forgets the conversation from 1 second to the next. But an agent with memory, one that holds on to the context, it feels intelligent. It feels like a collaborator. Honestly, it's the difference between working with a partner and trying to have a conversation with a goldfish.
Now, the other half of that secret sauce is making the AI's skills discoverable, right? A brilliant tool is pretty useless if you have no idea how to use it. Great design anticipates what you need with little suggested actions, it offers helpful tips, and it proactively shows you what it's capable of. It doesn't make you guess, it guides you.
So you see, all of these pieces, picking the right modality, giving the user control over autonomy, having a memory, communicating clearly, they're all leading to one single ultimate goal: earning, and just as importantly, keeping the user's trust. This quote just perfectly captures the whole challenge. Building trust with an AI is a really delicate process. It takes a ton of positive interactions to build it up, but just one or two big mistakes can shatter it completely.
Which, leads us to this fascinating paradox. We know that any complex system is going to fail at some point. It's inevitable. So, how in the world can we build an AI that we can actually trust if we know for a fact that it's not perfect?
Well, the answer is that you have to design for graceful failure. A trustworthy agent doesn't pretend it's perfect. When it hits a wall, it owns up to it,
explains what went wrong, and then helps you get back on track without making you start all over again. In the end, how an agent handles its mistakes is every bit as important as how it handles its successes.
Ultimately, when you bring all these principles together, what you get is more than just a piece of software. You get a system that feels predictable, reliable, and transparent. That is the secret to turning a frustrating chatbot into a digital partner that you can actually count on.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As these AI agents get better and better, are we moving toward a future where our most important work isn't done in a document or a spreadsheet, but through a smooth, intelligent conversation with an AI partner?